Howells here at Floorplay Studio 18 Amsterdam. Hi, Danny.
Hi.
I heard you are the luckiest man on earth because you got tickets to Glastonbury.
I am indeed the luckiest man. I was up at 8 o'clock this morning ringing them non-effing stop, and it was insane. But yeah, I've got tickets, so it ruined my night of sleep. That's why I'm a little bit needing the Red Bull. But yeah, I'm so lucky.
Your first gig abroad was in Holland, is that true?
I think it was, yeah. Back years and years and years ago, back in like 96 maybe. I think my first international gigs were in Netherlands. When one of the first people outside of England to appreciate my music was Mick Boskamp, who was working then for, I think, ID&T, Basic Groove, that kind of thing, and he had a radio show and he was promoting me and he was promoting my sound, and it's because of him that I did my first mix compilation, which was also ID&T, and I think the guys, they do Sensation now, do they? Or
yeah, they do. Yeah.
So they're still.
Yeah.
So they're
I don't know if Mick was working for them, but I know he managed to do. Yeah.
He was connected to the Dutch sort of dance scene, and he was the guy pushing me. And so yeah, my first international gigs were here in Netherlands.
And then Bedrock came. Oh, yeah. How important is Bedrock for your?
Bedrock was before that actually, but it was actually, you know, that was when I was only playing in the UK.
But that was an important thing for you too in your career, wasn't it?
Really big, yeah. Because I started DJing in 1991, and Bedrock was based in Hastings then, where I used to live, and that was the first sort of quite big thing, party that used me. That was back in 1992. And I stayed with Bedrock. It became a lot more famous, I think, later on when Bedrock moved to Heaven in London. But I was there back in Hastings, on Hastings Pier, back in the early 90s. But yeah, that was the other sort of really big thing, big break early on for me.
There were more things, Danny.
Yeah.
Because you did an Essential Mix for 4 times, didn't you?
I think I did. I think I did 3 good ones and 1 terrible one. Yeah, so 4.
How important do you think that is for a DJ? I mean, Essential Mix is a big thing in the music world. How important was that to you?
For me, it's really important because when I was a kid, and even now, I'm a very, very big fan of radio, and I don't really listen to Radio 1 now. But as a kid, I always listened to Radio 1, and I'd have the radio under my pillow in my bed, listen to radio at night, and listen to Radio 1, listen to the pirate stations, Luxembourg, Radio Caroline, and things like that. So when I finally did Essential Mix, it was like, oh my God, it's Radio 1, which is what I grew up with. I grew up with this Radio 1. It was like my big thing as a child, and so yeah, I did 3, I think, which were, I made them at home, and then I did another one which was live, and then after the live one I said I'm not going to do any more live ones because if it goes wrong it's still going out on the radio, and it was terrible. It was the worst hour of radio ever.
I don't believe that, Danny, but maybe.
Maybe I'm very harsh on myself, but I had a tape of it and I threw it away. I never want to hear it again.
And then I reminded you. Oh, sorry.
I know. You reminded me.
So you did 3 Essential Mixes.
only 3. Yeah, there was another one that had my name on it, but it wasn't me.
Oh yeah. Somebody used your name. Okay. Then also you did a remix for Madonna, and that must have been a dream come true when she said it was okay.
Yeah, it was actually, because she, and I thought, yeah, she is. I mean, I've always had a lot of respect for her because she's Madonna, and because she's always been a big supporter of DJs, and even from a really early music, she was like hooking up with all the New York DJs, and they were giving her tracks. Like Jelly Bean was giving her tracks to write music to. So she's always been a big champion of dance music, and she's an icon. And so for me, it was kind of like, I mean, I was kind of like 80% happy with the remix that we did, but the fact it actually came out and had my name on the record was like, wow, you know, for me it was a really big thing. I was really excited.
Yeah.
Really, it was like the dream ticket.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything very cool. You know, James Holden did a remix also. I mean, did a very, 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 very clever, very very underground kind of thing. And mine was much more sort of kind of basic, you know, a bit more cheesy, but you know, no, for me it was yeah, it was amazing, incredible. I don't know really, you know, it's a bit scary. If you love a track, if you love an artist, then doing a remix can be a little bit kind of frightening, because if you really love that thing, then it's perfect already. So you're not going to improve it, or it's going to be really hard. For me, one of the greatest remixes ever was the remix of Bent Always by Ashley Beadle, because he took a song that was already perfect but made another song that was perfect also, and it's, you know, he's kind of made the perfect remix, and it's such a tough thing to do. But yeah, right now I think I'm just going to focus on, you know, just doing my own music and see what happens.
Yeah, because later on you started Dig Deeper.
Yeah.
Main reason was?
Because I did a mix album for Renaissance, and when I had the idea for putting the album together, I thought, well, it would be good for me to actually have some of my own music on there, you know, because a lot of the music I'm using on there is old, and not old popular, but old, you know, like 2 years old, 3 years old B-sides, tracks that people haven't heard. So I wanted to have a few of my own things on there to kind of to give it a bit of balance, and so I started making music again, and suddenly, you know, 1 year later I had like 15 tracks, and I didn't really have any confidence to start giving them to DJs and saying, oh please, you know, will you listen to my music, because a lot of the time, you know, I get given music and you don't always listen to it. So I just thought, well, you know, I'll start a label, and I can release it on there. And it's been a bit quiet recently because I kind of took a little break from producing, but then like in the last sort of 6 months I've been sent so much good music that's not signed, so I'm making an album now, a Dig Deeper album, which is going to be a compilation of all the really amazing music that I've been given, and people have been writing tracks with the label, doing remixes for me, and it's like a real honour, you know. It's really, for me it's really flattering, you know. Some people out there that, you know, that I really admire and respect are doing and adore, are giving me music and saying, look, I made this for your label. So for me it's like brilliant. So
But like who? Can you name a few?
Yeah, it's a few guys, you know, like people like Dave Angel, Andrea Sugg, Giorgio Roma, and then we have also like some sort of more sort of like newer guys, like there's a guy called Vadim Yershov, I think that's how you say it, from Toronto. There's like a whole range of people. I've got, you know, like a really nice, I've got about maybe 40 tracks signed, so I need to try and find a way to push that into one album. It's going to be a long album. But no, it's exciting, it's different, it's something new for me. I've not done it before, and you know, I've had the label, I've released music on the label, and I've done compilations, but I've never done a compilation of music that I've signed to my label. And I have D-Tron also has done a remix for me. It's a lot of really cool stuff. So it's quite an exciting new chapter.
Yeah. How is life for you, Mr. Howells? Because you're traveling a lot of the time. How do you keep yourself healthy? But what is life for you?
I hope I'm healthy.
Are you healthy?
I don't know. I've got no clue. But not been to the doctor in years. I've slowed it down a lot. I take a lot more time off now. That helps me enjoy DJing a lot more. I really don't enjoy being away from home. I get really homesick. Weekends like this are perfect. I can, a quick 40-minute flight to Amsterdam. I know I'm going to be home in the morning. I've got animals at home that I love, so I'm very, very much a home guy. I don't like being away from home. And if I have to do a tour, which is going to mean, 10 days, I'll do that maybe twice a year. Because I just want to be at home, and then because the more time I spend at home, you know, preparing, doing my domestic work, the more I enjoy, you know, the gigs. So I take it a lot slower now. You know, I don't need to financially, you know, be running around the world and driving myself into an early grave, because I've been quite boring and quite sensible. So I can relax a little bit now, and you know, and just go and see the doctor when I get home.
The music, there's a DJ Mag is coming. The winner is going to be announced in October, and you've been in the list for years.
No, I was in it. I think I was fortunate enough to be in it when it actually meant something, but not recently. No, to be honest with you, I don't even know who's in it. I don't even know who's number one right now.
Yeah, that was my question. How important do you think it is for you or for the world?
I think it's important for the trance guys, because I think the last time I looked at it, I recognised maybe like 10 names in it. And that's not me being old. That's just, you know, I remember seeing some guy in there called Bobina, and I'm like, what the fuck is a Bobina? Never, you know, I DJ around the world. You know, I buy all this music. I've never heard of this thing. What's Bobina? What is it? Who is it? You know, I just think the whole thing right now. I think I'm always around, you know, like maybe about 108 or 112, and I think that's actually really, really, really good, because I refuse to put anything on my website or my MySpace page or my Facebook saying vote for me, because I just think it is so fucking embarrassing. For me, it's just kind of like, you know, just
more a commercial thing to you.
It's just become much more of a commercial thing now, and I think it's really important for the really young kids that are into trance music, and for, you know, and people like me, I couldn't really give a shit, really, to be honest with you, anymore. It used to be, it was important, really important to me back years ago, when, you know, when the people that were in it were the people whose music I was buying. You know, or the people that were in it were the people who I really respected and rated. But now, you know, I'm pretty sure if I look at it, there'll be maybe like 2 people that I recognise. So.
Okay, back to tonight. You proved to do a longer set, and that's actually what you're about. Because you're running late. You're running late.
That's my flight.
Yeah, but that's actually what you're all about, huh? You really want to play longer sets.
Sometimes, yeah, not always. Yeah, I don't enjoy turning up, you know, when it's like really, really super energy, and then, you know, playing for like 5 hours. I like tonight, because Paul is playing. He plays really deep and mellow, and it's a small club. It's underground. I can go and I can play. I imagine I can play, you know, what I like to play, which is my nice deep, you know, sort of sexy, futuristic tech funk house. And
oh, so that's how you label it, because people like to label DJs, and you're like into progressive or tech house. And so, what was it? How can we label you?
Deep, sexy, futuristic tech funk house. I didn't invent that. My first ever manager invented that back in 1995. So I give him the credit, but it still works though.
It's a nice style.
It's 15 years old, that word, but it still kind of works. So yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Last question, so you can go make everybody happy in the room. Is there something coming up for you that is really exciting to mention?
Just really the compilation. I'm working on that. I've spent the last sort of 4, 5, 6 months getting tracks signed, getting them remixed, getting my tracks remixed, blah 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 blah, and then, you know, hopefully finding a way to put that all together into a Dig Deeper compilation, which hopefully will come out in January. And that's really kind of like the only thing I've been working on. I've been pretty boring, pretty lazy.